Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here to give you my WWE Friday Night Smackdown review. I thought this was actually a pretty good Smackdown. I haven't watched Smackdown. I think the last time I remember seeing Smackdown was when they had that 8-man tag when it was Daniel Bryan, Biggie Langston, and I think it was the Usos, but I'm not exactly sure. It was Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus The Shield and Randy Orton. That's the last Smackdown I remember watching. I remember watching that Smackdown. I haven't watched it because I've been playing the WWE 2K14 game, and the funny thing is, I did say Smackdown would be better with John Cena on it, and I haven't watched it since John Cena's been on it. So, but yeah, we got this Smackdown was for November 22nd, 2013. We get JBL and Michael Cole on commentary. And we kick it off with Cody Rhodes and Goldust defending the WWE Tag Team Championships against the Real Americans, which is Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro, and if I actually with Zeb Coulter. I thought this was actually a really good match. It was a good way to start off the show, and I actually did not know who was going to win this match, and that's what I actually felt like with all these, well, with most of the matches, that I had no clue who was going to win every match. I liked this match too because it was just really good. I think this match was better than the non-title match they had, which makes sense because it's for a championship. And the Real Americans dominate Cody Rhodes for a while, and then they tag. Cody Rhodes makes a tag to Goldust, and he gets the hot tag, and he actually backdrops Cody Rhodes right into the Real Americans, which I thought was cool. And then Swagger though ends up getting Goldust into the ankle lock, and he didn't even end up getting to the ropes. And right when he didn't get to those ropes, I thought the Real Americans were gonna win the championships right there, but that was not the case. Cody Rhodes went off the top rope and did a disaster kick, and then Cesaro came in and gave Cody Rhodes the big swing, and Goldust clotheslined Cesaro on the outside. And then Jack Swagger rolled up Goldust, and I thought that was going to be it, but no, that's not the case. Goldust hit the final cut on Jack Swagger for the win. Really good match. I thought that was great. I would like to see them do this match at some point. I would like to see it maybe at TLC, like a fatal four-way tables match between Rollins and Reigns, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, the Usos, and the Real Americans. I think that would be great. Maybe you could put the belts on them there. I would like to see the Real Americans. I always trash them because it doesn't make sense, and it really doesn't make sense, but these guys, I'm just behind. I don't know. There's just something about these guys now that are just making me behind them. I think if you actually broke up this tag team, it's just randomly taking away success. I mean, they were a successful tag team. I thought they were going to go nowhere after they lost to Los Matadors in Hell in a Cell, but they've impressed me. And then Ryback issues an open challenge. He ends up facing the Great Khali, and Khali kind of dominates him throughout the match, but then Ryback gets back into it, hits Shell Shock on him for the win. I thought this was pretty boring, but I don't know. I guess it made Ryback look. I don't know. It's just they're not really doing anything with Ryback. He did say he's going back to bullying, so I'm hoping that they're gonna go back to doing those bullying skits that he used to do before he started the feud. He got into the Paul Heyman and CM Punk feud. And then we get Tamina and AJ Lee's backstage. I guess Vicky Guerrero punishes AJ for putting her in a match. And she ends up she has to face Naomi and Cameron, the Funkadactyls. And I don't know. It really isn't fair because AJ Lee was just doing her job. She was told to go out there and wrestle you, and that's exactly what she did. But anyways, the match itself, it was like a 1-on-2 handicap match with then they couldn't tag. It looked like none of the baby faces were heels to me, and that's not shouldn't be happening. Naomi wins when she shoves her ass and when she jumps and shuffles her ass in AJ Lee's face. I don't know. I really didn't like this. I didn't think it was fair, and it was just pointless. I think you should have just done like a Divas match or something. Like a different match. The Wyatt family's backstage. Bray Wyatt's cutting a crazy promo on Punk, and I usually just say that, but he's talking about how, like, when people see these guys, they think that they're, like, the best. They think that they're idols, that they're not, but they're just, these guys are just normal human beings like us. They're not the big superstars that they made out to be. That's pretty much what he was talking about. And then we get the Shield, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and Rey Mysterio. Good to see Rey Mysterio back. He didn't even do a lot in this match. He got like the hot tag, and then he just won. He beat Dean Ambrose off the splash. I didn't know who was gonna win this match though, cause like I don't know, it's the Shield. I was like, maybe they'll win, maybe they won't. But yeah, Rey Mysterio and the Usos won. I'm looking forward. I'm going to Survivor Series in Boston tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. On Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking for the match I'm looking forward to the most is actually the Shield and the Real Americans versus the Usos, Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and Rey Mysterio. Like that's the match I'm looking forward to the most. And then we get Big Show calls out Randy Orton. First he talks about how he had to like scratch and claw just to get back in the WWE, and he says he's gonna rearrange the face of the WWE. And he wants to be here so he can make the lives of the Authority a living hell. And then Randy Orton comes out and he talks about how that's not going to happen. The only reason they rehired you is so I could destroy you. Then he shows the clips of when he got into the Authority's face on Raw, and he ended up having to face the Big Show himself. And then he showed like the clips of what happened every time Big Show and Randy Orton were in the ring by themselves. When he chokeslammed him through the table, when he knocked him out, when Randy Orton was having his celebration after he beat Daniel Bryan in Hell in a Cell, and when he speared him after his match with Ryback. And then Randy Orton says that he can beat him by himself, he knows he can, and then he just calls Randy Orton a whiny little girl, and then he's going to take the WWE Championship from him. And he said that he hasn't been WWE Champion in 10 years, so I thought this was fine. I like that they built that up. Then we get Damien Sandow and Curtis Axel versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. I thought this was okay. Biggie Langston pins Damien Sandow after the big ended, and then Curtis Axel tries to attack him with the championship, but Biggie Langston fights him off. Even though he stood tall here, I still think he's winning at the pay-per-view. Then Del Rio gets interviewed. They show like the stuff that's been going on with John Cena and him when he attacked him after his match with the Real Americans 2 weeks ago, and then the arm wrestling match. And then John Cena setting the trap for him on Raw, and he says that he's going to make John Cena tap out. That's not going to happen. Then we get Daniel Bryan versus Luke Harper with Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan. I thought this was fine. I like the fact that they're using Luke Harper to just pretty much go in there and just destroy people. He's not like wrestling. He's just in there to take your head off. And he did that. He actually kind of dominated the whole match, too. At one point, when Daniel Bryan did the suicide dive to Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt comes up and he gets in Bryan's face, and then CM Punk comes out to make the save. And then Bryan rolls up Harper in the ring and gets the victory. And then Harper big boots Bryan, and then Rowan and Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan attack Punk on the outside. And then they beat up both Bryan and Punk in the ring, and Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail on Daniel Bryan and puts Punk over Bryan. I thought this was fine. I hope this means that I kind of want Luke Harper and Eric Rowan to go over at the pay-per-view, so I hope that means that that's going to happen. But this actually was a pretty good SmackDown. I didn't know how any match was going to really turn out, except for maybe the Funky Naturals match. I think AJ Lee probably would have won that match if it could be like tags. I don't know why it had to be like 2-on-1, but I kind of had a feeling that Sandow and Axel were gonna win this match because Curtis Axel I thought was gonna like gain momentum going to his IC Championship match and was gonna pin Dolph. And I thought I didn't know who was gonna win the tag team championship match. And I didn't know who was going to win the Shield match. I thought the Shield were going to look strong going into the pay-per-view. So I thought SmackDown was pretty unpredictable tonight. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to be back in like a few minutes to do my Survivor Series predictions video.